All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. So, again, I don't know where it's natural and where it's them. However, as close as I can tell you what the item is, and you can figure it out by what I'm saying. A frequently bought Asian food item that I buy had the mark of the one. Only one left. That's kind of rare, but it has happened. Place I just left. People inside. Uh, Asian guy looked okay. I could see he probably has inside. Older Asian guy. It's nice to see Korean people again. Also, the a woman in there, a young woman. She seemed to have the mark of the whacked head from being spycraft operated. Or again, another thing they do is they'll take my photo and show it to people in a store. So they immediately, this is a bad guy. So I get weird reactions from that. I've investigated. I know what they're doing. So again, she might be that too. They may have just told her, now watch out for this guy. We're trying to make him gay, and if he gets with a woman, it won't work. That's really what your government and your private sector cronies are up to. That kind of thing. So your police departments are being manipulated by outside. Now, there was a guy in Houston. Let me see if I can remember his name. I could Google it, but I'm probably not going to do it. He was affiliated with the CIA somehow. When the officer shot him, they denied his existence in the CIA. Yeah, I guess he had weapons in his vehicle. He freaked out during a traffic stop. The officer may have pulled him over because they were getting hit by the spies. So again, every time something like Carnaby, that's his name. Thank you. Somebody was thinking it. Unless you put it in my headphones at a volume level that I can't hear, because you could actually broadcast into what I'm listening to and hack into it. You could actually talk to me. You all know that, right? They could actually hack into my tablet and speak to me if they wanted to. They could have put it real low volume. Carnaby. Oh, okay. He could have been harassing them. He could have been one of the operators. I went back and forth investigating it, saying different things to see if I get a reaction. They ended up shooting him. He may have been harassing the police. So when something like that happens, they reestablish themselves with a better plan, so that it won't happen again. So again, they'll just go deeper into your police department, own more of it, so that there's an understanding that they get to kill who they want to kill, and that's it. And of course, if they say a drug dealer gets to deal drugs, you have to accept that. So again, sometimes they speak about different neighborhoods. What's his name again? Matt Fogg, an African American U.S. Marshal. He was on DEA task force. He was in Special Operations Group. He ended up suing them all, but he had problems with not investigating certain neighborhoods. It's not necessarily just the neighborhood, but generally what's going to happen is when the people make it into the deep state, some people call it, but into that criminal enterprise, they're going to live in those neighborhoods. It isn't necessarily everybody in the neighborhood, but the drug dealers in that neighborhood are part of the deep state. So you understand how that works? Which means not everybody in that neighborhood is protected from investigation. You have to be a crook within the criminal enterprise that the bigs in law enforcement, get money from, get, power from, whatever it is. And of course, that type of power is anti-power. So you have that going on in Memphis. You have people, doing things. Some of the officers will be recruited, and they'll be made big. Like, what's this guy's George Floyd? Chauvin. Chauvin was one of them. He had these side jobs. Everybody took care of him. They covered over his, murders and stuff like that. And he wouldn't do that. Again, I go back to the idea. The goal is to provide a law enforcement environment where the officer can come out of the academy and actually be real. not be, this chump change where they're actually crooks. And I'm not saying every officer's a crook, but enough of them are. Am I going the right way? I wonder. Oh wait, this is it. I want to go north. So that's what the goal is. And a lot of people that are older in law enforcement, they're sick of it too, but they have to continue on in it or they're through. So what happens is they work your police department over and get you to commit a crime or do something crazy, make you paranoid about it, and then you get further deeper into it. And next thing you know, you're a very rich, wealthy, or a well enough to do person, but you just can't stand looking at yourselves in the mirror. Although some people can. The people I work with are that corrupt. Not all of them, but some of them got hit, sexualized and hit. Wait a minute. Maybe this isn't the right direction. Oh yeah, now I'm going the right direction. I had to remember that I was on the south side of the city. I was like dyslexic for a second there. So what's happening is those officers, again, it could be the idea of discrediting white supremacy. I don't, I didn't study your police department very deep, but I hear that there was allegations. So to discredit it, one of the spycraft discrediting operations for white supremacy is to get black people or people of color, Latino, whatever it is, to actually commit the same crime. It's not real because it's construct. Again, it's a construct. So the entire Tyree incident may have been a construct. Ah, because the allergens are poofing out. Actually, there's not that many allergens. It's mostly, what do they call that? Dust and dander, which is an allergen. So theoretically, that could have been a construct, what I call a construct. Some spies out there wanted to discredit white supremacy. Could have been some of your officers. Now, when they get a hold of an officer and they shadow instruct them, is how they do it. They do things to them lightly. Like they'll say, and it's also a psychological operation to say, look, we did that to you, and you were fine, right? You have a great life. You got forward of it. This person's just all screwed up. So you see what they're doing. But also, when they do it to them lightly, they know how to do it to someone else. But over time, I mean, they're spy masters. Essentially, that Russian guy's a spy master, or the FBI guy that was helping the Russian guy. He's a spy master. Russian guy's probably a spy master too. That's how he knew what to do with the FBI guy. They met. So, well, what they do, or their assistants meet, what they do is they kill people and manipulate people. The death is a big one. So when you get to suicides, they're operating, and some of your officers are being hired, shadow hired, and they're going to be remunerated in life. But some of your officers are killed, so that's the shock. I don't want that happening to me, because they do them enough to show them how that works, how the spycraft to cause suicide works, so they can do it to other people. Plus, fear them a little bit and then remunerate them. They usually coerce a little bit and remunerate and build them back up, make them bigger in life. They become famous investigators, at least government famous. Could be the chief. I don't know, but their chief doesn't seem like it. If their chief was one of them, I don't know if they would do it because that would sully their person. So they actually might want the chief out, which you haven't heard too much of, a little bit, but not too much, so they can put their person in. So spies might be moving on several fronts, and that's usually what they do. So even if they fail one operation, like Larry's still alive, darn it, they still had several operations that succeeded, like Jonathan Moon is dead, Dudley's dead. And these are other government people through suicide, theoretically. So that's, oh, darn it, I got to get some gas. This is kind of scary. I'm a little low. I was supposed to get to Sam's Club. Here's another one. Okay, this is a good timing, God, for me to tell them. God wanted me to explain this to you. If you buy gas and you seem like, sometimes gas seems like it lasts 2 weeks, and you buy the same amount of gas and it only lasts 2 days or something. If that's happening, you might want to change where you buy it from. You can buy cheaper gas, but if the corporation is sold out, like I think Sam's Club sold out, then your gas won't last. Like my gas was lasting, but all of a sudden it's not lasting. So if you actually pay 15 cents more gas to, let's say, Phillips 66 or QT or whatever it is, and your gas may actually last longer. So it's actually cheaper because you have corporate protection because you're a customer. That's the way it's supposed to work. But if the corporation sells out, you may not have protection. Now, the evil ones might have protection, but generally the evil ones are paid enough money to cover that. That's why they don't care about inflation, really, because they have so much. They have more than they ever need. So you see, there's ways to read everything. I'm not doing too well with Sam's Club gas right now. In fact, I can't even get to it hardly at all. So actually, if I find a gas station where I buy it from, and all of a sudden I don't have a need to drive as much, like my life just kind of clicks together, and I don't have as much reason to purchase or to drive, then they're protecting me. Now, there are instances where the corporation is going, their power's down, and they're trying to protect you, but they can't. So again, you can't be absolute about anything on the planet because it's so wishy-washy. And wishy-washy being corrupt and criminal, as well as demonic. So you see, pretty soon I'll be broadcasting while I'm walking. I got to get out there and start walking. At 50-something degrees, I have to get out there and walk. I want to post edit, which means I don't broadcast live, but we'll see. I have to get at least a couple gallons of gas here. Oh, I went to a gas station the other day. I don't know if I broadcast. It was over by Price Chopper. It was an expensive gas station. I had to go there. Their gas kind of lasted longer than Sam's Club, but it was more money. But it was a nice, I think he was an African fellow behind the counter. We had a little conversation. Very pleasant person. Actually, I think I was telling you, God will have me drive out of my way just to heal one person. Well, that was one of those events to get gas out of my way. I was almost out of gas. I mean, I was out of gas if you looked at my gauge. But it was to actually heal this guy, this African guy. And it was very nice, very, very well mannered. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.